break out of the brainwashing, our opulent lives are offensive to them. They want us to shut up, smile, slave away in their corporations, and then go home and slave away in a kitchen. They want us broke and brainwashed, stressed and depressed, overweight and overwhelmed. But today and every day, I declare war on every lie, every limitation, and every low expectation placed on our lives.
Yeah.
We are not here to shrink, we are here to shine. Some of our sisters don't understand. They think our beauty is arbitrary, when in fact, it's revolutionary. They mistake our grace for an absence of grit. In reality, it is silk-wrapped resilience. They don't understand luxury is a battlefield.
It is silk-wrapped resilience. That's a fucking bar. Black women, brown women, BIPOC women who reclaim softness as a birthright, who want to be poured into as much as they pour out of themselves. It is silk wrapped in resilience. I mean, resilience wrapped in silk, right? And so I think a lot of times people think that, oh, you must just be weak because you're a princess, but you don't understand how much courage it takes to walk outside without an armor. I actually think when we walk around stern and frowning and scared to smile and looking combative, that to me is actually more cowardly, because it's saying that I'm ready for a fight rather than just owning the space that I take up. That's my personal opinion, right? Being combative to me is actually easier than allowing your softness to permeate all the spaces you enter, even when people don't think you deserve to be in those spaces. So I actually very much agree with this.
Money is not the root of all evil. Money is the root of all influence.
Ooh, I love it when the girls be cooking. Money is not the root of all evil. Money is the root of influence. Oh, I feel like my credit score is about to go up watching this. Now, we just did this whole thing around Candy, opulent, successful, brilliant businesswoman, right? Who is trying to find love, found somebody she adored, and many of us are speculating that the disparities financially might have played a factor in her marriage. And that's a very lazy assumption to make, but it's also historically founded in a lot of truth from what we've seen from her family and her mother, and even Todd himself sometimes, because Todd be outside allegedly. And so first we're looking about how Black opulence and Black wealth affects women when it comes to relationships. Now we're looking about it, how it affects us when we are just trying to merely exist with other affluent people who are not Black. But this third video that I'm about to play for you guys is about the backlash that many of our faves, particularly our Black faves, received recently, earlier this month, when they were at the apex of not just wealth, but acceptance. What happens when you're not a Portia who's in first class fighting over the fact that you don't have any earbuds with a random wasp, and you're now Beyonce at a Kardashian party, hobnobbing with 9 or so billionaires? What happens when it's not the people in your ecosystem who are judging you, but your impoverished audience who is dismayed by the wealth that they've helped you acquire? This third video, guys, is going to be about Kris Jenner's 70th birthday. And for those who didn't hear, there was some complicated feelings around Kris Jenner's 70th birthday. And I made a compilation video, because of course. And in the compilation video, we're going to have to all have some uncomfortable conversations, not just with the video and the clips themselves, but with ourselves, about how do we feel about Eat the Rich? In 2025, where most of my clients come to me to ask about money instead of love, because usually when you're a coach or a psychic, or you pull tarot cards, or you do anything in the arts around self-reflection, love is usually the number one question. For the first time in 20 years, love has been replaced with fear around money. People talk to me about their fears around survival and their finances more than they talk about their need to be loved on and have partnership. I have never seen that in my life. I have never seen that in my life, particularly when it comes to women. So what happens in an era where everybody is worried about survival, and so many of us would love to be rich, and yet simultaneously are also screaming, eat the rich? If you don't know anything about Kris Jenner's birthday party, don't worry. As usual, I'm about to level set and catch you all up. And if you do know about Kris Jenner's birthday party, well, let's double click.
Kris Jenner's 70th birthday party, there's been a lot said about this famous family. So Kris Jenner just turned 70, and of course the celebration was anything but normal. Like, this wasn't just a dinner party with a cake and a few balloons. No. This was a full-on fantasy event that people are comparing to the Hunger Games Capitol, with the way that people in attendance had enough money to solve.
By the way, can we all just admit that regardless of what you think about the Kardashians or the subject matter, that this party looked like they had a time? My mama turned 79. I got her a fruit basket, her favorite food, and, you know, me and a couple of family members went to the facility to visit her and play Haitian music and dance and make her laugh. Okay? I thought I was doing something for my mother's 79th. And a week later, I would love for my mother to be this healthy and this wealthy. I'm being honest. Yes? And so optically, as a bitch who likes nice things, I'm not mad at it. But socially, I recognize why the backlash is happening. I get it. I'm not just going to be here caping for rich people. I am also going to say, I can't say eat the rich, because that would mean I'd have to give up half of my friends. So there's a conflict of interest here for me, because I'm not going to pretend like I don't have friends who technically fit the eat the rich moniker. I will say this, though. We do need to be careful about how we talk about eat the rich when we're benefiting from and or opting into a capitalistic society that we have to opt into for survival. It's a tricky and complicated conversation where nobody walks away without being a hypocrite. Because again, for those who came in late, most of my very popular activist friends who are anti-capitalist on social media that y'all clap for are filthy fucking rich. Most of my friends who make a living talking about revolution live in $1 million houses and make over $300K a year. So for me, being the autistic one who's always like clocking pattern recognition, even some of y'all's faves who be talking about eat the rich but have 300, 400,000 followers and are monetizing every video, I'd be like, you got a lot of bass in your voice for somebody who's talking about themselves low key. That's why I can't do it. The reason why I can't say eat the rich is because I'm not the rich friend, but I plan to be. And so for the sake of not being a hypocrite, I can't opt into this. I actually am going to be big enough to recuse myself from this rhetoric. And for me, this is purely an academic exercise. Okay?
Of the world's problems, basically.
It's all the celebrities that attended Kris Jenner's James Bond themed 70th birthday and what they wore. Kicking it off with the one and only Beyonce and her mother, Dina Knowles. I was gagged when I saw that Beyonce was there. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, and people are already mad. Here's Harry and Meghan inside Kris's birthday party, and Meghan with Kim. The guest list was seriously stacked.
Y'all, this entire video is calling everybody in this chat broke. That's a safe assumption to make. This entire video is calling everybody broke. And for those who are saying, I don't think anybody's worrying about the 300K a year people, actually, I beg to differ, because there's a video in here in this compilation that says the opposite. The 300 100K people are the top 10%. The eat the rich rhetoric is already starting to move the bar. Because if you're making 300K a year, you're going to be a millionaire soon if you have any saving abilities. Can we all do the math? Can we all do the math? If you make 300K a year and you are responsible and save at least 20% of your income, you will be a millionaire within a decade. So when you guys are talking about being anti-millionaire, where do you think millionaires start, my love? I buckled down the hatches and saved 50K one year and was still doing luxurious shit. So I just need y'all to understand that once you start making about 350, being a millionaire is a matter of planning not a manner of hoping. You can plan your way to be a millionaire the minute you hit 300K, guys. You actually can. And so I think what we're about to see here is that even within the eat the rich mantra, they can't even agree where rich starts. And that's part of what makes me nervous. That's part of what makes me nervous.
Oprah was there. Here she is with Chris. Gayle King. Adele was there. You can see her a little better in this photo in the background. Mariah Carey. Snoop Dogg. Kim, of course. Bill Gates. It was seriously like a billionaire's roll call. Mark Zuckerberg and his wife Priscilla Chan were there. Photographed here inside the party. Jeff Bezos and his wife Lauren Sanchez, who actually hosted the party for Chris at their home. I guess that's
Hey guys, can we all pretend that I actually edited the video? And so I'm saying that millionaires are included because there's something in this video that's going to include them. Can we all pretend like I know how to produce content? Respectfully. If I'm telling you the eat the rich are going after millionaires, not just billionaires, you better believe I have a receipt. Respectfully. Just trust that I know what I'm doing.
It's what billionaires can do. The beautiful Alicia Keys. Justin Bieber, who was having a great night, was also spotted with some kind of white substance on his pants. You decide. There were a stack of photos of him and Chris just really bonding together and hitting the dance floor. Wife Hailey Bieber and of course Kendall were also there. Vanessa, Bryan, and Sierra.
Everybody looks amazing. Can we all just admit that? Like, eat the rich aside, can we all just admit that everybody looked stunning and it looked like a beautiful party? And I'm saying that because I'm shooting bail to the Kardashians. In fact, ironically, one of the biggest articles of my entire career, the article that got me on CNN, was actually about the Kardashians and how full of shit they are. So I'm not a Kardashian apologist. It's just that I'm the kind of person who can admit that something amazing has happened, even if I'm not a fan of the person who's doing it, right? This party looks fucking spectacular.
Jay-Z, Sarah Paulson, and Naomi Watts, including the rest of the All's Fair gang. Niecy Nash.
Niecy Nash is so fucking snatched. Oh, I love her. And All's Fair, for those who asked me to watch the show and give a review, I keep trying, but it's a painful watch, y'all.
Tiana Taylor, and Ryan Murphy. Chris Rock, and of course, Kylie Jenner, Melanie Griffith, Paris Hilton, and Meghan Trainor.
Who wasn't there? My God.
Bruno Mars, who performed on the night, Tyler Perry and Selma Blair, Vin Diesel, the legendary Stevie Wonder, Kathy Hilton, and Nikki Hilton, the iconic Martha Stewart, Sia, Babyface, Toni Braxton.
Ooh, Tony looks good. And you love me. I love a good chartreuse, honey. I love a good chartreuse. Yes.
Designer Tommy Hilfiger, Miranda Kerr and husband Evan Spiegel, Lala Anthony, Chris Appleton, of course all of Chris's girls, Kyle Richards, Faye Resnick, and Farrah Brittany. More family like Travis Barker, and of course Corey Gamble.
The fact that Kim's mom now has gotten surgery to look like Kim and is still in a relationship with a man who looks like Kanye's uncle. There's an asterisk in my mind next to that. This looks like Kanye and Kim 20 years from now had they stayed together. Is it just me?
Her 70th birthday party was James Bond themed, and it was hosted at Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez Bezos' house in Beverly Hills. And we already know how people feel about that friendship. I mean, when the Kardashians went to their wedding, there was so much backlash over it. And I mean, the same happened with this birthday party celebration, as people just felt like the whole thing was a little dystopian.
It does feel a little Hunger Games. It's almost like, you know what this feels like? Watching the footage of the Kardashian 70th birthday party for Kris Jenner is like eating Halloween candy. You're so excited about that first Snickers bar or that first Kit Kat, but by like the 7th one, you start to get nauseous and now you're worried about getting cavities. This is so rich. The more you stare at it, it does feel a little too rich. The first time I ever experienced being overwhelmed and nauseated by decadence was when I went to the Vatican. As somebody who grew up Catholic, super, super Catholic, I remember when my mother and I went to Rome and went to the Vatican, there was so much gold everywhere. The opulence of the Vatican, while my little baby brain, actually I was like 25, I wasn't a baby, but my little brain, my frontal lobe had almost fully congealed, was thinking, wait, growing up, y'all made us send pennies to Africa to help starving children, but you got gold dripping off the walls at the Vatican. And it grossed me out, guys. So I know for a fact I would never have to worry about being a billionaire because it will gross me out. There is a certain level of wealth that I actually find nauseating. I know that's not a popular statement, guys. But there's a certain level of opulence that at a certain point feels too much. It's like eating a piece of candy that's too sweet. And I can see how if you're someone who is, reusing plastic bags and bringing lunch to work and walking sometimes to save money on cab fare and bus rides, and then you get on your phone and are doom scrolling on the train and see this, I can see why this level of opulence would feel grotesque to you and incredibly Hunger Games-esque.
People said this feels like Hunger Games.
Oh,
let them eat cake vibes, right? We are all starving, but so glad they're having so much fun.
I saw a video of all the billionaires that showed up to Kris Jenner's 70th birthday party last week, and I have not been able to stop thinking about it. Like, what did the Kardashians and Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg have in common? They're billionaires, right? And I feel like there's like society wants us to think that the Kardashians are these like pariahs that nobody likes, nobody respects. Meanwhile, they're running around with the people who run the world.
Yeah, have y'all noticed that the first time the Kardashians were seen with Beyonce or anybody of influence or impact or who has a lot of public favor, everybody was so shocked. But it's been like a decade of us seeing them with influential people. At what point are we going to admit that we're making fun of them, but nobody else is? We, the general public, might be making fun of them, but the people who are moving and shaking are giving them unprecedented levels of access. At some point, we have to recognize, and this is something I debated bringing up. There's a really popular social commentarian on here, this beautiful trans woman, I think her name is Contra. And she did a video essay around envy. And one of the things she mentioned, because you guys don't realize, for every fun video that I post on here, there are much more nerdy, data-driven videos that I know you guys will not find entertaining, but I find fascinating. And while I was watching her video, she was talking about how at its core, eat the rich is steeped in envy. I disdain you because you possess something I don't. And the minute she said that, I had to sit with the fact that it's a two-way mirror when we say eat the rich, right? The pain tethered envy and also the casual flippancy and privilege that allows rich people to be completely out of touch. So it's like we all know that rich people are out of touch, but I don't think we ever want to admit how much envy the eat the rich mantra is objectively steeped in. And I'm not saying envy as if it's not valid, right? If I'm going hungry and you have food, fuck yeah, I envy you. I want a piece of bread, right? So I'm not saying envy as if it takes away the merit. I'm saying, yes, contrapoints. I'm saying envy as if, objectively speaking, it is quite literally envy. And the reason why it's important, what do we always say? There's no safety without acknowledgement. If I am sanctimonious about eat the rich and do not admit the envy that has to exist for me to say that, then I am liable to not check myself in my politics and not realize how much of my self-righteousness is steeped in unchecked pain, right? And so please be clear, I'm not caping for the rich. I'm just saying that a lot of y'all, again, are hypocrites because you low-key want to be rich.
And I think about the influence that they have on women, on the appearance of women, on the way women dress in society. Like, their influence almost like this.
By the way, I agree. I agree that no one has to be poor for you to be rich. I also think that we have to tell people who do not have a lot of money that not every rich person is miserable. Because y'all love to say, well, you have money, but I have what money can't buy. What would y'all say if I told you I know people who are rich and also have what money can't buy? It's intellectually dishonest to say that who wants to be rich when you can just be happy, when deep down, all of us dream of being rich and happy. And some of us have realized it's actually fucking possible. This tit for tat thing, you know what I mean? And I blame, what is it, Dickinson? I blame like A Christmas Carol, where we always present rich as miserable as a way to make impoverished people feel better. I don't want to make impoverished people feel better about being poor because at least they're having more fun. I would like impoverished people to stop being impoverished. The answer isn't for us to act like it's more self-righteous to be broke, is to help people stop being broke and help them make a living wage. And so there's a certain level of pride that some people have in poverty. Child, even when I was broke, I never thought I was poor. Y'all hear the distinction? Broke is a moment. It is a circumstance. Poverty, in my opinion, is a mindset, and it's a cancer. To me, I've been broke a lot. I've never seen myself as poor, because nothing about my mind and how brilliant I believe I am, or the value that I think I can add to the world, screams poor. I feel like I can be broke and abundant. I was an abundant bitch who was broke, who figured out how to be an abundant bitch who wasn't broke. And that's not saying that life is fair or that hard work will help you be abundant. No, life is not fucking fair, and capitalism doesn't give a fuck about hard work. I am saying, though, that you can strategize with the best of your abilities to get further than you currently are. And for some people, here's the thing. In my hometown, let's say me making $300K a year in my hometown, I've made it. In LA, I'm the broke friend. Yeah? And by the way, I'm not saying I make $300K, because I would never tell y'all how much I actually make, because the internet is full of people who will love you until they envy you and then they hate you. So I will quite literally never tell y'all how much I make. If I'm broke, you would think I'm rich. If I'm rich, you would think I'm broke. I make it a point to always go on the internet as if I am broke and celibate. Because the minute y'all find out a bitch got a coin and is getting dick down, everybody wants to be a hater, right? But I'm saying 300K in Boston makes me the rich cousin. 300K in LA makes me the mid-tier, slightly broke friend. So I want you guys to understand that if you hate rich people, and for you, rich starts before billionaire, because I do think it's obscene to be a billionaire. I don't think billionaires should exist. I'm one of those. I don't think billionaires should exist. I love Beyonce. I love Rihanna. I still don't think billionaires should exist. The minute I hit a billion, I would start creating more foundations and giving some away, personally. But when you are struggling, again, this party, the more I looked into it, the more I understood why this party pissed everybody off so much. Even though, had I been invited, I would have been in that bitch. I get why the party pissed y'all off, but had I been invited, I would have been in there. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's gonna be a stretch, but it almost feels like CIA oriented in a way. You know what I mean? Because like people like to make it seem like Kim Kardashian is like this pariah that nobody likes, nobody respects. They have pull. They're in those rooms with those billionaires. They're talking to the Bill Gates and the Mark Zuckerbergs and the Jeff Bezos. I think they're running things in society more than we would assume. It just feels like all one big joke, like they're all one family. Yeah. And we are the people in the Hunger Games looking up at them, and not me. I don't watch their stuff. I don't get involved in anything that the Kardashians really have to do, because I feel like they...
Yes, and shout out to Mackenzie Scott. For those who don't know who she is, that is Jeff Bezos' first wife, the one who was driving the car for them to move and start their dreams of starting Amazon. She was literally driving their car full of stuff to start their business while he was in the backseat working on their business plan. When she broke up with Jeff Bezos, she was the first employee at Amazon. She has a lot of money. When you are the first employee at Amazon and you low-key helped your husband create Amazon, you better believe you leaving here with everything. Fuck something. You leaving here with everything. Mackenzie has made it her life's mission to not stay a billionaire. She just recently gave over $700 million to HBCUs, and not just the popular ones. It wasn't just Howard and Spelman. She gave over $700 million to HBCUs across the realm. She's the kind of rich that I want to be. I've always said since I was a child, I want to be so rich that my family and my descendants are so well taken care of, I can give the rest away. I dream about being able to open up the pool of who I can trick on. Y'all see me right now. I live on a budget. I gotta, I have my little flights and stuff, but y'all, I still make my dinners and stuff. I still have bills to pay for my mama, my stepdaddy. And yet, y'all gave me $10 a month to be members. And what do? Every month, I try to figure out new ways to trick on y'all. It's fun for me to trick on people, even for $10, right? I like the idea of getting enough to have a surplus to give back to the community that fed me. And why am I pointing this out? Money does not change you. Money makes you more of who you already are. Mackenzie Scott was a generous person who became rich and got even more generous. When you meet somebody who's an asshole for having money, they were always an asshole. They were just too broke to admit it and show it. So I do not believe that money changes you and money is the root of all evil. I believe money reveals you. It reveals who you were all along. And that's why my conversations around money are not so black and white about good and evil. I don't think being broke means you're a good person and being rich means you're evil. I've never subscribed to that. I think there's something haterish and dishonest about that mindset, honestly.
Fit off of Black culture while still having the privilege of being white women. And so,
according to a Forbes article, there were at least 9 billionaires seen at the party. They literally published a whole article listing them, writing all the billionaires at Kris Jenner's 70th birthday party. The star-studded guest list included celebrities and a group of billionaires worth more than $500 billion. These are insane numbers, you guys. Of course, Jeff Bezos was there.
You guys, I'm talking about billions. There was trillions of dollars at that party. There were trillions with a T of dollars at that party. And for those who are wondering, y'all know I should start selling these, y'all. I'm eating a buttermint. Why do I love buttermints? When your energy is low, you need a little bit of sugar. Buttermint, very low calorie. When you're nauseous from cramps or medicine, buttermint helps with nausea. If you've seen a cute boy and he's about to roll up on you, buttermint keeps your breath fresh. There are very few things that a buttermint can't help. I'm just saying. If there's a buttermint sponsor, I'm being so Caribbean right now. Caribbeans love mints and mint tea. I don't know what it is about Caribbeans. It's probably a story about that. Well, if anybody out there has a buttermint company and y'all need a sponsor, ambassador, holla at your girl.
Because he hosted it, but also Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates, along with Oprah and Tyler Perry, and don't forget, literally Kim Kardashian.
Somebody said a buttermint can't help poor credit. Touche. Maybe it could, though, because if you eat a buttermint while asking for a loan, I'm just saying, don't sleep on the buttermint.
I mean, the fact that this is just like so normal and common in their friend group and their daily lives is just so insane.
Let me put y'all on some game. The reason why Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, Beyonce, Jay-Z, all of them folks were at Kris Jenner's birthday party is it's a great place to make business deals. They make connections, they build relationships, and they make money through socializing. Not saying they're not friends, but it's always about the bottom line, money.
I agree.
And it really is giving Hunger Games capital when you think about like all these people just like partying together. A lot of people are just frustrated that they could be helping the world and they just sit on their cash.
That's the thing too. When we say they could be helping the world, but they're just sitting on their cash, how do we know they're not helping the world? Because Beyonce has so many foundations that she has to help small businesses, certain communities, housing in Houston where she's from. How do we know that just because there's not a press release that it's not actually happening? I always get nervous when we say stuff like that because how do we know? I know so many people who give privately. I actually give to a lot of charities privately that I never talk about because I don't feel the need to, right? And so, I don't know, it's a little bit tricky. And speaking of Beyonce, do you notice how Beyonce's not in any of these pictures? Do you notice how Beyonce is not in any of the pictures? And the only pictures where we caught her was because her mama blew up her spot. There's something interesting about that. A part of me wonders if she saw how tricky things were when she was spotted at that table with Jared Kushner and Trump's daughter and saw the backlash and for optics decided to pull away. I will say that I was there. This is not a name drop. I was actually in the room, third row, right behind June Ambrose, when Jay-Z and Meek Mills and the guy from the football team, the rich guy who's helping them, announced the Reform Alliance. I happened to be in New York at the time. I was working for the Griot, and they need to send a journalist to go to the press conference to do a write-up on it. And I just happened to be in town, and they assigned me to the story. And so it's June Ambrose, the fashion, the stylist. It's all, I'm not going to name everybody, but it's everybody that you can imagine associated with the Rock Nation. And on the stage, about maybe 15 feet away, because the stage was very close, was Hove and Meek Mill. And one of the things that struck me when I was there was Jay-Z is very quiet. Like, he doesn't like to be the first to talk. He likes to watch the room and only speak when he has something to add. He doesn't need to be the loudest room and the voice in the room. And when he stood up and started speaking, the level of intentionality and emotional investment and financial investment he conveyed. And then Meek, Meek can be very emotional. Okay. Meek got a lot of feelings. And when Meek brought up people who had been wrongfully incarcerated for much longer than is humane, hearing those stories really moved me. And so I've always had a soft spot for the Reform Alliance. And so when I saw that the Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump picture took place at a Reform Alliance gala, I paused because people were like, well, it's a charity. Hove doesn't have any say about who is sitting next to him. But I was like, no, I was there when they announced it. He has a lot of say because it's his foundation with Meek. He totally had the power to choose who could sit at that table. And so I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't want to speculate too much, but it's a curious case of what happens when you're a billionaire, because being a billionaire is such rarefied air. Y'all are saying, and I'm not saying this to be messy, and I love Beyonce and all that good stuff, but I also have to tell the truth, right? When you're a billionaire, it's such rarefied air, other billionaires almost become avoidable. It's almost like living in LA and working in the industry. Working in the industry is such rarefied air. When I say I'm not name dropping, I'm really not name dropping. It's almost impossible not to run into people because LA is a shiny small town, right? And so, yeah, I wonder how much of this is proximity versus politics, social and political politics, versus just like, hey, I don't agree with you, but we're still friends. A part of me wonders and cannot jump to conclusions because I've seen different iterations. I've been in rooms with people that I know y'all cannot stand and had great conversations with them and enjoyed them in the moment, even though I know I don't fuck with their politics and it'd be a bad idea for me to post pictures with them. Right? I was at a brunch with Kanye West and we had words, right? And it's tricky. I'll just say it's easy to paint it as black and white from the outside, but when you're in the room, it's very, very tricky. And I will say this too as well. If you're somebody who has a hard time navigating office politics because you don't like Pam from accounting, but you're hoping to get a raise and she's the one who has to approve it, and so you have to smile at Pam for political reasons, if you understand that, then how can you not understand how tricky it is for people who are at this level? If you're struggling making $120K a year, imagine how tricky it is when there's billions and trillions in the room. So again, I'm not shooting bail. I'm just saying that I believe in you. I believe there are million people who will be millionaires who are watching this, right? I believe there are people who have dreams and have a purpose that will bring their family affluence. I'm praying that for you, right? I'm sending that juju out to whoever is listening to this, who this resonates for them. And if that is the case, rather than make you ill at ease with the wealth that I know that you are manifesting and going to get, I want you to start humanizing people who are already there so you can be intentional about how you show up when it's your turn. Does that make sense, guys? Because I really want to have this conversation around money in a way that isn't so steeped in lack. Because again, I said this before, so many YouTubers who have hundreds of thousands of followers and who I know because of what I'm making, I know what they're making, come on here and pretend to be broke and pretend to be one of y'all, to be relatable, and they're lying. They're lying. Your favorite cultural commentarian with 300K followers who's making 25K a month plus from YouTube is not your peer. They're pretending to be for clicks, but they're not your peer.
I mean, we recently saw Billie Eilish come out and call out billionaires in the room after she was given an award.
Love you all, but there's a few people in here that have a lot more money than me. And if you're a billionaire, why are you a billionaire? No hate, but yeah, give your money away, shorties. Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Basically,
I love that you said that, because if I was in a room full of billionaires, I would have said the same shit. Y'all remind me, when we hit 1,000, there's a lot of stories that I want to share when we hit 1,000. Number one, what happened with me and Melissa Ford, for real, the real story. That's going to be behind the paywall. What happened when me and Kanye met and I unintentionally chin checked him in a room full of execs. We're going to talk about that. There's a lot of stories I want to share when we get to 1,000 or more. And one thing I will tell you is it has been proven time and time again, if you put me in a room full of billionaires, because I've had dinner or lunch with a billionaire on more than one occasion. I'm pausing on that so you understand that I'm not just talking on my ass. I have been at a table with a billionaire on more than one occasion, and I promise you I did not give a shit. I talk to them the way I talk to y'all. And so when I see people like Billie Eilish who are willing to call out the billionaires and be like, hey, yo, I'm 100 millionaire, but y'all got like 20 times that. Y'all not going to cut nobody a check. I get it because it would bother me too. This is who Billie was before she had the money, right? Money amplifies you, right? It would bother me too. And so I love that someone this young, because it's easy to talk your talk when you're in your late 30s and early 40s and beyond. But for somebody as young as her to be doing this, I think is exemplary.
Saying, you know, why aren't you guys donating more money? You know, like I'm over here donating and you guys have way more money than me. And people loved her for it.
The picture that caused the backlash. Yeah, I saw the Mandani and Trump thing. We'll talk about that at some point, maybe. This picture, I'm gonna make it big and make myself small. You gotta make it big, bitch. This picture sparked such a firestorm. Wait a minute. I think there's one of the videos that I did not include. I'm just realizing that in my luxury videos, there might be a video that I didn't include because Beyonce is now getting dragged. She was trending all over my threads yesterday because her and Mariah Carey have been sending those automated holiday things about different drops and different merch. And everybody's saying, Beyonce, you are dropping something new every 5 minutes. Do you not know we are broke? And I find that interesting because we're always claiming broke, and yet we always find a way to pay for her shows, right? So let's talk about how Miss Tina, none of the pictures that Kris Jenner posted had Beyonce in it. Miss Tina is who, and bless her soul, she's so sweet. Miss Tina, when you meet her, she acts like she's an auntie. She is sincerely who she purports to be. She is not a fraud. Miss Tina was so happy to post this picture. She didn't realize that Beyonce was trying to be incognito, allegedly.
Oh, wait a minute. Hey guys, it's your girl Jen Troy. Hey, and when I covered this story earlier today, I listed celebrities, Oprah, Tyler Perry, Mariah Carey, but I did not know that Beyonce herself and Miss Tina Knowles attended the party as well. Where was this picture? I'm just seeing it because Miss Tina Knowles decided to post it on her page and share it, but I don't see anybody else posting this picture of Beyonce and Miss Tina Knowles being at the party.
So now I see there's controversy surrounding Beyonce attending the birthday event of Kris Jenner. Kris Jenner, the person whose ex is a supporter of MAGA, and her daughter Kim Kardashian is also a supporter of MAGA. She's made enough implications for us to know that. And let's not act like Kris Jenner, regardless of her political ties, is not a complex and problematic person.
Last night at a bar, a guy came up to me and we were talking politics and he was like, I'm so left, eat the rich, except for like Beyonce. And I was like, baby, what part of eat the rich don't you understand?
Have you guys peeped this, that people say eat the rich, but they always say except for Beyonce? I have heard that, and I do think it's tricky.
All of them, baby. All of them. Salt, pepper, and garlic with a spritz of lime.
Damn.
Every single rich person. Listen, I love Beyonce. I love her music. However, if it comes down to it and I gotta eat a rich person and it's between Beyonce and Taylor Swift, I'm having seconds. I'm having double dinner.
Oh.
The phrase eat the rich originated around the French Revolution.
You guys know I love historical context. A bitch loves historical context, and so I'm intentionally putting in the etymology of the coin of phrase so that we all understand where it comes from and how it's applied, because I never want to assume that we're all operating from the same understanding.
And is attributed to philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau. When the people shall have nothing more to eat, they will eat the rich. The phrase regained popularity in the 1980s and 90s. And today, the hashtag Eat the Rich on TikTok holds over 830 million views. Rousseau would be amazed.
It holds 830 million views, but yet every time you go on TikTok, it's somebody telling you how to become rich, becoming an influencer. Every time you go on TikTok, it's somebody giving you a tip about how to make $50,000 a week on TikTok. So which one is it? Do y'all want to make $50,000 a week on TikTok Shop, or do y'all want to eat the rich? This is where y'all lose me. The app that is the most obsessed with people becoming rich from being content creators is also the app where they talk the most about eating the rich. My pattern recognition feels itchy when I think about how y'all moving. Something in the water ain't clean.
I genuinely think the only reason so many people are even against the Eat the Rich movement is because they think that they are in that group. Millionaires, step aside. I'm not even looking at y'all. If you drive a nice...
You see, she's saying what y'all kept on saying in the comments. She's saying, millionaires, I'm not talking about y'all. Millionaires, I'm not talking about y'all. Honey, not everybody in the Eat the Rich cohort agrees with this.
Car, you have a big home, you go on vacation all the time. I don't give a fuck. I'm not looking at your pockets. I'm strictly talking about fucking billionaires.
Okay.
The people who have amassed a disgusting amount of wealth that could only accumulate from exploitation.
I'm just here to squash the rumor that is when people on the left say eat the rich, they're not talking about millionaires. They're not talking about multimillionaires. They're talking about billionaires. No, babe. I'm talking about millionaires. And the reason I'm talking about multimillionaires, because there are so many of them, there are more multimillionaires than there are billionaires, is because the same system that has created their wealth is the system that has created billionaires' wealth. And I don't believe you can really hoard wealth, hoard $5 million, even as little.
She's lost me on the word hoard. $5 million is not hoarding if you're operating from a place of network poverty when you're taking care of your family because you are the chosen one who's making an income that they can't make. The amount of money that I have in my savings account now, because tax season is coming up, when you're an independent contractor, you have to take out about 20 to 40% of the money you make and put it aside for taxes because you pay taxes all at once, right? So for taxes, for medical emergencies with my mama, for medical emergencies with myself, I'm getting dental surgery, unexpected dental surgery next Wednesday. Did not expect that I was going to need to get dental surgery. Just found out, and I got to drop a couple $1,000s last minute on dental surgery, right? It's a surgery that even insurance doesn't cover. If I didn't have a savings account, I would be shit out of luck, right? I'd be up here begging for money for a side tooth. And guess what, though? I'm not above it if I ever have to. And somebody might look at my savings account and be like, oh, Blue is set. No, I'm not. You don't know people's lives. $5 million for somebody who lives in Los Angeles and has dependents is not hoarding. It's enough for them to retire on if they live responsibly, but they're not hoarding it. That's not hoarding for everybody. And so part of why the Eat the Rich movement makes me nervous is, I've said this time and time again, economists have said that $100,000 in the rest of America is only $50K in New York and LA. So your 5 million is only 2.5 for me. Half of it is already gone. Your 5 million is only 2.5 for me because I live in Los Angeles. Then you add my mama, you add my travel. What if I want to buy a home? A crack house in Los Angeles is about $975,000. If you want to get a trap house in LA, you're paying almost $1 million. Unless you want to go so deep in the valley that you're in the fucking sphincter of the devil. Right? So $1 million is for me to live in a trap house. The other $1 million is for me to feed me and my mama. Come on, y'all. Hoarding $5 million, that statement is why you guys immediately lose me. $5 million is a symbol to you. So those of us who actually know what that means in tangible, like real life, that's not hoarding. If you live in a major city, $5 million is not hoarding. That's you making sure your family is covered. Yes, I did say sphincter. My bad, y'all. Y'all know that my brain be going places. Oopsie.
Well, it's $5 million, yes. I do not believe you can sit on that amount of money while also knowing many Americans cannot afford their healthcare premiums, don't have emergency savings, can't afford their groceries, can't find a job, and you still are just sitting on that money.
Some people call me a hater for this, but my version of Eat the Rich is, if you are wealthy, I'm not engaging with any of your content. I'm not liking your video. I'm not.
Wait a minute. So wait. So now Eat the Rich has gone to if you're wealthy, I'm not engaging. So guys, if I come on here and y'all see I do these long 3+ hour lives, I pour into y'all. I give out more free game than what y'all compensate me for. The people who've been coming to me for years and never given me a single dollar, and I still make sure they walk away with gems to change their lives. And you're telling me that if I saved up enough money over a couple of years and decided to share a small tour of a house that I saved up for, you would stop following me because I figured out a way to bust my ass and become affluent? You guys would just stop following me because I finally made it? That makes sense to y'all. That makes sense to y'all. Again, I'm okay with us disagreeing on this, and I get why people feel this way. It's just there's too many holes in it for me.
Commenting, favoriting, nothing like that, because there's so many small creators out here who are trying to make it off of TikTok, and I refuse to make a wealthy person even more wealthier. Like, no.
So people are saying they're not going to engage with rich people's content, you know, because there's people that actually need help and that those people don't need any more money. To me, that gives hater energy. I don't know. I disagree with y'all. How are you mad because somebody else is rich? If it was you that was the rich one, would you want people to not engage with your content just because you're rich? Does that mean you're a bad person? Like, y'all need a reality check for real. I get it. There's plenty of creators on here that are struggling, that need help. But a lot of these people that are rich, they've put in the work. And if they didn't put in the work, somebody else in their family did, so that they're not struggling.
By the way, if there's anybody in here who does believe in Eat the Rich, I need you to understand that it's valid. It doesn't work for me, but it's a valid way to see the world. I just see that a lot of people are using Eat the Rich as an excuse to stoke their despair rather than healing from what is causing them the despair. That, for me, I think as an EQ coach is what makes me nervous. Right? Somebody said here, Orange said, Eat the Rich was supposed to be directed at the greedy when everyone else is starving. Exactly. But for you to say that affluence alone makes you someone who's not worthy of support.
So why the fuck are y'all mad about that? That to me sounds like, oh, I want people to do good, but I don't want them to do better than me. Like, am I hearing this? Are we listening to the same TikToks, y'all? And then a lot of y'all are agreeing. So now I'm really confused and I'm really scared. Y'all are.
Wait, somebody said too many TikToks about eating the rich and not enough about robbing folks. Wait. And not your name is Naja Soul. Baby, you know the allegations. Don't do that. But that's actually really funny, though. That was actually
really admitting to being haters.
Yeah, I'm jealous of Kim Kardashian for not having to go get a degree first and then go to law school. So 7 years of school in total, and being so rich to the point where she can just skip all of those 7 years and take the bar exactly straight. What are you defending, dumbass bitch?
Oh.
Y'all motherfuckers are stupid.
I was about to clip this video about Mariah and Beyonce Christmas to pull up, but she just started cussing everybody out. She like that lady on the plane. Oh, do y'all see how much pain is in this? And the pain is probably valid, so I'm not judging it. I'm just observing it. I'm not judging, just observing. When it comes to Eat the Rich and something as personal and painful as survival, because I know what it's like to be so hungry, you can feel your stomach touching your back. I'll never forget that feeling. And so I'm not judging. It just hurts me that she's in this much pain.
Y'all are stupid. So me, I'm jealous of the white lady who's a billionaire who skipped 7 years of education to take the bar exam and still fucking failed, all while supporting and benefiting from the genocide in Palestine. Oh. And bitch, you in my comments calling me jealous of a bitch that supports a genocide?
Does she know that it's possible that she is? Everything that she just said makes me agree with whoever made the comment, and also understand that I understand why she feels that way, but why is she acting like she just convinced us that she wasn't? I'm now convinced that she is. Yes, guys, what do we always say? Two truths can coexist. For those who are asking why we think Kim Kardashian is MAGA, when Elon Musk was being dragged for rigging the election and all types of heinous things to silence the voices of those of us who believe that all humans are humans, including the Black and brown and queer ones. He came out with that robot car, and right after he came out with that car, Kim Kardashian was seen driving around with it. and she's worked with Trump. So if I have worked with Trump and I'm riding around in Elon's new robot car at a time where everybody's divesting from him, and she did a whole photo shoot with it too, it feels like I'm throwing an endorsement or a dog whistle. So yeah, there's been a lot of speculation that Kris Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner is not the only person in that family who was MAGA.
Oh my God, you coons make me sick.
Girl, don't do it. It's not
Already did it.
Not Rihanna. I love Rihanna.
Already did it.
It's always eat the rich, eat the rich, eat the rich until the rich is getting married. Eat the rich, eat the rich, eat the rich until the rich is doing some $50,000 haul or $100,000.
Did you hear what she said? It's always eat the rich, eat the rich, eat the rich until the rich is getting married. Now you're all gagging and sharing the videos and the pictures about how this is your dream wedding. Ooh. I fear she ate with that. Yes, and she just opened the Skim stores in Israel. It's pretty loud at this point that she might be a Zionist and MAGA. It's pretty loud, right? And I'm not going to get into a whole conversation around that. I'm just saying her actions have been loud. But she also posted a pro-Palestine like thing, so she said it herself low key. But she is right though. She said it's eat the rich until we're doing a $50,000 shopping haul or having a wedding. Suddenly, it's where goals.
$1,000 haul or showing you the collection of Birkin bags or showing you the collection of Van Cleef accessories, necklaces, rings, bracelets, whatever, then it becomes rich people who rich right.
Yep.
Rich people who rich right. It's made me realize that people do not actually like hate rich people or hate billionaires. They just wish they were part of them. They hate that they are not rich. It's really not eat the rich. It's I want to eat with the rich.
Now, this doesn't apply to everybody, but I do think there's a valid point that for some people, not all, right? Because we don't want to act like this is all absolutes. But for some people, it's not really eat the rich. It's I want to eat with the rich. I do think there is some FOMO. Mind you, there are some evil, evil rich people. There are some heinous people who have committed atrocities all in the name of money. And so I need y'all to understand that this is, again, it's not me caping for the rich. It's me saying that if we stop saying eat the rich, then maybe we can figure out how to pull ourselves out of despair and figure out how to become less poor, less broke, and maybe more rich, right? Because it's hard to admit you're aspiring to be something while talking shit about it. And not everybody wants to be rich, right? Well, somebody said they got their candles. Yay, I'm so happy you got your candles. We have a shipment going out either tomorrow or Monday. Probably Monday because I'm so exhausted and burnt out from all the travel. But yeah, I'm so happy you guys got the candles. As you guys can see, I've been telling you this winter, I'm working entirely with Pure Sweetness. And as many of you have emailed me and told me, I look different as a result of all the work I've been doing with my Pure Sweetness candles. For those who are wondering what Pure Sweetness is, I have a line of spiritual candles. They all go through a ritual. Yes, I come from a lineage of witches, good witches. I'm a Christ-like witch, okay? But I do ceremony and I bless these candles. These are prayer candles that I've been making for my friends and family for years. I started selling them to the public, a very curated public. And they've been doing really well. Shots everybody's been buying the candles. If you're looking for the link, it's bluecentricshop.com. The descriptions for all the candles are in the description box of this video. And the candle that I decided to work with during cuffing season is Pure Sweetness. It's the Divine Feminine candle. And that candle is to tap into your sensual, soft, feminine Diana Carroll, Beyonce, Dorothy Dandridge kind of juju. And so it's not lost on me that about a month or so into working with my Pure Divine Feminine candle, I do feel like I look and feel softer than I did a couple of months ago over the summer. I am, for those who have pointed it out, I am seeing that there is a bit of a Divine Feminine happening. And that's the thing about working with candle magic is the ritual of, and there's directions. The ritual is so intentional. You're so intentional when you're doing candle magic. You have to clean your house. You have to journal. You have to do a spiritual bath. It's actually almost like a spiritual boot camp to keep you in line as you're working with the candles. So shout out to those of you who've been telling me that you've been working with them. Somebody said they got the bath. I got bath salts and need to get the return to sender and protection candles. Yeah. The return to sender protection candles, to me, that's the insurance policy. I don't care what I'm going through. I do those every quarter. I'll probably start a return to sender and then protection candle probably next month. Like I like to do return to sender candles very heavily in December because I want to purge everything from the current year that I don't want to follow me into the new year. So I think I'm going to do candles of the month. And if we had to do a candle of the month, I think for December, I think for November. Let's start now. For November, I think the return to sender is the candle of November. That candle is the one that I think I'm probably going to do as soon as I pivot a little bit away from my pure sweetness ones. Somebody said, Blue, can I burn 4-hour protection and 4-hour road opener, or do I need to finish the whole protector first? Finish the whole thing first. Finish an entire candle by itself because you need to be focused on that energy and then move on. I will also say wait at least 2 to 5, maybe a week tops of days between candles if you are really being concentrated, because you want to give yourself a time to rest before your next ritual. You don't want to burn yourself out. Anyway, sorry for that detour. So like she's saying, some people are saying eat the rich because they mean it, and some people are saying eat the rich because low-key they actually are just sad and envious and disempowered and want to eat with the rich. That's a bar. She may have a point.
There were things that people did like about the birthday, okay?
And here's her point. I sliced this video here on purpose. This entire video was about how everybody's mad at the Kardashians for the 70th birthday party. But the same party where everybody was mad, the other side of the internet, some of them the same people, were congratulating Kim for vlogging because her opulent rich girl vlogs were so fun that people were begging for more. So you're saying eat the rich. This feels like the Hunger Games. Why is Beyonce there? Why are you throwing a party at Jeff Bezos' house? And in the next breath, oh my God, Kim, I love these vlogs. I feel like I get to be rich with you. Huh? So are you coming or not? And for the person who said, Blue, we can say multitudes, the contradictions are flying. I think money is the place where people's hypocrisy and their fears of inadequacy, I think it's one of the places where it shows up the most. I think it's a tie between money and love. I think different things show up more for love and different things show up more for money. But survival and desirability shows up a lot when it comes to money and or love. So yeah, this little turn of events, I was like, wait a minute, y'all went from dragging her to saying that you love her vlogs?
And it was that Kim has decided that she was going to be in her vlogging era. She's recently taken to TikTok to post these vlogs, and she shared behind the scenes of her getting ready for the party and also her at the party, Kris Jenner dancing with Justin Bieber, Kylie, like the girls that were taking shots. You could tell they were very drunk by the end of the night. People were kind of living for it.
I love Kim's dress.
Vlog. I'm officially the last 20-year-old in the family, and also I've been doing this vlog shit for so fucking long. You guys are so whack for this. The birthday party was a success. I thought North was the TikTok.
Going. Stevie Wonder is here. Bruno Mars performed.
And you planned this?
I planned it.
Are you guys going to pretend that you wouldn't enjoy watching a vlog like this? Some of you might not, so I don't want to pretend that we all love this shit. But can we be honest? This is the kind of shit that goes viral on TikTok and YouTube all the time. This is the kind of shit that goes viral all the time.
I'm just so happy. My mom is so happy because she deserves it.
Kim also included a clip of her saying that psychics are BS because 4 of them told her that she was going to pass the bar.
Now, hold on. How we get in this? As somebody who does readings, psychics could only tell you probability. We're not God. We can't tell you 100% certainty. Now, if they told you 100% certainty, then maybe you have a reason to be mad. But I don't ever tell anybody with 100% certainty. You know why? Free will. Something could have been true when you talked to me, and then because you found out and you deviated from the plan, it changes. That's the tricky part about getting readings is you do more of what you like and less of what you don't, because you actually do have the ability to change your destiny to some degree.
Which, of course, we now know she did not pass the bar.
I'm just letting you guys know that all of the psychics that we have met with and that we're obsessed with are all full of shit. They all collectively, maybe 4 of them, have told me I was going to pass the bar. So they're all full pathological liars. Don't believe
Damn.
anything they say.
She made it known on Instagram last weekend as people knew that she had taken it. She had said it in interviews that she took it this year and that she was waiting for the results in November. And while the day
Somebody said maybe the psychic meant after the 10th time. Y'all ain't shit. Y'all saw y'all know that girl was upset. Y'all know that girl was
came and
upset.
she didn't post a fancy post on Instagram. She just said on her story, well, I'm not a lawyer yet. I just play a very well-dressed one on TV. 6 years into this law journey, and I'm still all in until I pass the bar. No shortcuts, no giving up, just
no shortcuts, no giving up. But according to that girl, her not going to law school was a shortcut. I don't know how I feel about that, because if you're studying while you're on set, you're studying in between business meetings, you're studying on your private jet. How's that different from when kids go to school while they're child actors and they get their college diploma from being on set? I mean, how is that different? Like, that's a real question. That's not me caping for Kim. How is Kim studying on set and studying in between business meetings different than a child who is an actor who gets a degree or diploma from studying on set? Do you have to be in a brick and mortar schoolhouse for it to count? Because then what happens to people who do online learning? If we think online learning is okay, Kim not going to a traditional college but still learning, am I missing something? Like, no, sincerely, how is that different? I get that y'all don't like this lady, and there's lots of valid reasons not to like her, but sometimes the equivalencies are a little bit shaky for me.
more studying and even more determination. Thank you to everyone who has supported and encouraged me along the way so far. Falling short isn't failure, it's fuel. I was so close to passing the exam, and that only motivates me even more. Let's go. And well, like I said, when it came to her vlog and her opening up and her being real in this, people were basically saying that they need to fire whoever is producing their Hulu show and hire whoever put together this vlog, because they got the right clips, they edited it perfect. They were like, we're seeing her interact with Paris Hilton, Scott, and Kylie in like a real way, and a way that is not feeling very scripted. People said, Kim, this is what the people want. Kim, this is what we thought the Hulu series was going to be. Kim, whoever did the editing, keep them and fire the Hulu producers. We want this. And I will say this vlog did feel very reminiscent of the old Kardashian.
Not to be annoying, but did you guys ever notice how like in movies or TV shows where there was like a rich character like in parallel with a poor character, and like the rich character always envies the poor character because like the poor character's family was always around?
Yeah, have y'all noticed that? We were just talking about this earlier, right? Like Charles Dickinson and all these Night Before Christmas, how if you're rich, you're immediately miserable, and if you're poor, you must have an amazing family. As someone who grew up broke, what neighborhood did y'all get this from? That poor people all have amazing families and rich people all, like, again, it's the lies we tell ourselves to make our egos feel better about our circumstance.
And the rich kid's family was never around, but like in reality, usually it's the poor kid's parents that aren't around because their parents are constantly working.
Yep.
And it's actually the middle class family where the parents are always around and they like seem to have wealth.
That's true.
And it kind of already like always bugged me that it was like, oh, like money can't buy you happiness. Like, look at this poor rich kid, their family's never around. Because in reality, having your parents around is a luxury that can be bought. Like, whose parents do you think are going to be able to afford to take PTO? The rich family that doesn't have to worry about putting food on the table, or the poor family that literally has to work just to barely make ends meet? Let's be realistic here.
My favorite genre is financially stable, wealthy Black women.
Ooh, financially stable, wealthy Black women. You know what? I like that genre too. So I'm going to take this video down because it feels like a positive note, and pull up this Mariah and Beyonce video that I found, because when Beyonce was trending on my flight yesterday and people were like, Beyonce, enough, stop taking our coins. You're trying to rob us. I was like, what's going on?
Today's internet, you're going to hear it. Mariah Carey and Beyonce just turned Christmas into a case study in capitalism, accountability, and parasocial attachment. Because of the system,
I haven't watched this video yet, so we're watching it together, guys.
Can convince the most culturally influential and marginalized group, the Black audience, to fold first. The rest will follow. Let's start with Mariah. We all saw the ad and heard the message. We heard y'all are protesting, but the system still needs you to consume. Then Beyonce drops a Christmas merch line, and the same people who were criticizing
I will say, when Beyonce dropped the Christmas merch line, several people, about 3 or 4 people I know who actually have ties to her, were like, I love her, but this is a lot. In the words of New York, do you know you may have 30 minutes? Like, girl, who's paying for this? We just recovered from Cowboy Carter. So I will say, even some of Beyonce's staunchest supporters have been telling me they feel a way that she has been sending a lot of texts. If you've ever been to a Beyonce concert, you know we're all on her email list. It's been a lot of texts trying to get us to buy stuff lately. And mind you, I'm saying this as a bitch who uses Sacred on my edges. The edge drops, busted. So she got me. I bought about 2 or 3 bottles of edge drops for the holidays during a recent text. She got me.
Mariah are now saying maybe just one robe. The Beehive likes to think that they're the responsible parasocial group, that they hold her accountable. But accountability without action is
Oh, by the way, guys, we're wrapping up because I'm about to go to bed too. We're wrapping up in like 10 minutes, so we're right behind you.
just performance. On a macro level, celebrities are just ambassadors of capitalism. Their entire job is to make emotional persuasion look like a choice.
Their job is to make emotional persuasion look like a choice. Absolutely correct. No notes. She nailed it.
The system knows this. It's by design. We grow up with these people, so our attachment starts feeling like loyalty and not marketing. Yes, on Beyonce's internet, you're going to hear it.
Wait, 100 million on the edge drops alone? Well, I have something to do with that. I buy them 3 bottles at a time, so yeah, I got something to do with that. I'm not even gonna hate. Here's the thing. I like products that work. I'm not getting edge drops because Beyonce makes them. In fact, when I heard that Beyonce had a hair care line, I was like, child, the way my money is set up, I don't have no time for that. I'd rather spend it on flights. Okay. And so I did not want to buy Sacred simply because I didn't want to create a habit that I couldn't afford to keep while I'm in this era of being fiscally responsible and paying my bills on time and having a savings and all that good stuff. And then I took out some braids that ate my edges. And I saw some before and after pictures and was like, oh, these shits seem to work. And they just so happen to be a Beyonce product. So here's the thing I will say. If you have a product like Sacred that's high quality, works really well, my hair is flourishing from using Sacred, and it happens to be Beyonce, I can actually get behind that. But a robe or a t-shirt with a cowboy on it, that's a little different.
Mariah Carey and Beyonce just turned Christmas into a case study in capitalism, accountability, and parasocial attachment. Because if the system can convince the most culturally influential and marginalized group, the Black audience, to fold first, the rest will follow. Let's start with Mariah. We all saw the ad and heard the message. We heard y'all are protesting, but the system still needs.
So guys, what I'm hearing is, I think it's on a loop now. What I'm hearing is people are sick of Beyonce because she keeps asking for money while we're in a recession that everybody's in denial about. That's fair. I don't have any feedback on that. I think that is fair. I also think that dropping products during Christmas is also standard. So I think she might be on autopilot and maybe her team didn't read the room well enough. But that's a fair critique where I can see both sides, but I understand why people are like, girl, enough.
There's just a lightness, airy demeanor in which they move around life with. That's like, yeah, I'm chilling.
So this is a girl who's talking about how her favorite genre of person is soft life Black woman who is comfortable with luxury. Not a girl who has a chip on her shoulder and wants everybody to see her Birkin bag, but a woman who has relaxed into her power. Did you all hear what I'm saying? This video is about how a Black woman who is relaxed into her power, a brown woman who is relaxed into her power, any woman who is relaxed into her power when it comes to luxury, where she's doing it because it feels good, but she's not using it as an armor to hide from things that she refuses to heal from. Because being wealthy, being in luxury, being a soft girl while healed is very different from doing those things while unhealed or as a distraction from healing. Two very totally different things, right? And so for those of you who are like, oh, soft girl life is some bullshit, it's only bullshit if you're bullshit, respectfully.
I don't have stress. And I love to see that. I eat it up. They're usually really nice. Like, they're so nice, but they have this confidence that it's like, you can't really mess with me. And I like to see that as well. And I know because I feel like I give those vibes. So like when we see each other, in action, it's like, yes, I see you, sis.
That's true.
We can acknowledge each other. And I live in Atlanta, so there's no shortage of that. It just makes my day every time.
And I love that, guys. I love what she said, that the women who are steeped in luxury and wealth, but are nice people because they're relaxed in it and it's not a chip on their shoulder, there is a kindness and an I see you, almost like an energetic generosity that they have. She's right. I can count on one hand how many times I've run into another Black woman while being in first class. And whenever I do, I smile, I look at her, I make sure that we recognize each other, because we have to remind each other that we belong, right? You can be in the room without being of it. Like, I'm on the internet, but the internet is not going to in any way make me think that I'm not who the fuck I know I am. And again, we started this live with saying, those of us who can be apathetic within reason to the internet are those who are built for it. Those of us who can be apathetic to the optics of wealth, because we understand the value that it can bring to our lives without conflating it with being the only thing that makes our lives valuable, are the perfect people to acquire it. So I don't think I want to eat the rich. I think I want to eat with good people who happen to be rich, who are trying to find ways to help other people also find their own abundance. That's my nuanced take on it. You don't have to agree. I'm sure there's going to be some radical people in here who are like, no, Blue, you're a capitalist, eat the rich. Sure. I just want y'all to be abundant. I want people to flourish. In the words of Natasha Rothwell, my whole tribe is flourishing. You know what they call that? Growth, right? Growth. I want you guys to flourish. And I don't want you to think that being broke is a badge of honor, because there's something really sad about that. Bonding over being broken or being broke just always felt weird to me. All right, guys. Well, that was our Friday Night Live. We're not going to do an after show because I decided to do an entire Gen Pop show. And the reason why I'm doing a Gen Pop show is because on Sunday, shout out to the members up. On Sunday, we are doing part two of the tarot class. For those who do not know about Tarot Academy, again, look in the description. Part 1 is, if you missed it live, because if you're a member, you can watch it live, but after the first 24 hours, I have to put it on Patreon because YouTube keeps on giving me copyright strikes on the material. So if you want to join us live, join us on Sunday. I'll be posting the time and everything else, but I'm going to probably make the placeholder in the morning after I sleep. We're going to have fun on Sunday, the 23rd of November. We're going to learn how to read tarot. Part 2. If you want to join us as a member, number 1, become a member. What are you waiting for? And number 2, please, if you haven't, watch part 1. Members up. Yes, members. If you haven't already, watch part 1 that's in the description. So that when we get to part 2, you know what I'm talking about, because part 1 was 3 hours. I'm not going to recap part 1. Y'all know I like to trick on y'all with the time. So watch part 1 first. You have 48 hours to do so. And on Sunday, we're going to do part 2. And yes, well, thank you for telling everybody to like the live. Oh, you got your tarot cards. Yay. I love y'all so much. All right, guys, I'm exhausted. I'm getting my hair done tomorrow. I'm getting a whole new hairstyle. I hope it comes out cute. So the next time you see me on Sunday, I will probably be looking a little bit different. I will say, though, Ginger is a vibe. I like her. She's going to come back. She only lasted about 2 weeks, but she will definitely be back. All right. Until next time. Love y'all, family. Bye. Oh, share the live. Okay. Help me get my 1,000 subscribers. All right. Love y'all. Bye.